It's a question I get asked a lot, and that is, what is the benefit of going through a mortgage advisor instead of going direct to a bank? Well, there's a number of reasons why you shouldn't go direct to a bank and you should come through a mortgage advisor, and let's go through those. Each bank has its own set of lending criteria, and therefore the same application with the same inputs could get a different outcome at each bank. The banks have different treatment of certain income types, and they also have different expense benchmarks. And those two things can have quite a big impact on your serviceability when compared across different lenders. As mortgage advisors, we know all this. We have access to all the bank's calculators. And so when you come to us, we put that into our system and then we push that through onto the bank calculators. And so we can figure out whether a deal works at one bank or the other bank before it's submitted. And so you don't need to waste your time going to each individual bank to figure that out. You come to us and we figure that out for you. There can at times be different pricing across the banks as well. Often the pricing is set at pretty similar levels, but when you get into the high LVR space, sometimes that can be a little bit different across the lenders. So we know that as well. And so we'll save you a job going through each lender and getting pricing quoted to you individually. We'll be able to tell you roughly what that looks like before you start the process. But the application and getting approval process is actually relatively straightforward. Sometimes there are tricky deals which require a bit of extra effort and persuasion with the banks, but that's generally the easy part. The part where we can add the most value that the banks typically don't offer is what to expect as you work through yourself through the entire home buying process. So this is things like getting ready to make an offer. What conditions do you need to have satisfied with the bank? What conditions should you include in your sale and purchase agreement? When should you speak with a lawyer? What other due diligence needs to be done? Those are things that are so important that, generally speaking, a banking advisor at each bank doesn't have the skills or expertise to provide you like a mortgage advisor does. In terms of pricing, mortgage advisors, generally speaking, don't get any special favours or any special treatment that you wouldn't get by going direct with the bank. However, we are here to make sure that what pricing you do get offered is fair and competitive and in line with what we're seeing offered to other customers. The other part that mortgage advisors do really well is helping you set up your loan structuring optimally for you. When you deal with the bank directly, you only get access to that bank's products. However, with a mortgage advisor, we have access to all the lenders, and so we can set you up with a bank that has the best product that suits you. And that may be things like offset accounts or revolving credits. Not all banks offer those. And so if that's important to you and it suits for your budgeting, then we'll line you up with a lender that has that product to offer. Mortgage advisors are generally a bit more available as well. We don't have set hours of 9 to 5. So if you've got an inquiry or something that needs to be answered late at night, we can be available to answer those questions. And the best part, mortgage advice is free. We get paid by the banks. There's no cost to you as the customer. So you may as well use a mortgage advisor because you get all those added benefits and no cost for you.